do 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 do. Do 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 do.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Lyle.
I'm Dr. JJ.
And welcome to Vitamin Junkies, where we're addicted to health.
A quick thank you to the people that provide us with the wonderful music that you're hearing on our show. It is from the podcast PodSafe Music Network, and they give us a very nice tune to listen to, which I'm quite enjoying. You can find them at music.podshow.com. I don't always get that right. It's okay. It's life. We'll keep rolling.
We'll keep rolling.
Jennifer.
Now, in case you're wondering who you're watching, I'm the mother of two boys, Aiden, who's 6, and Ryan, who's 3. And I've had a personal interest in alternative health for about 6 years now. And I teamed up with Dr. JJ to fight trans fats and all the bad health out there and inspire people to be proactive about their health.
I'm Dr. JJ. I'm a naturopathic doctor. I am a researcher, and I am a public speaker.
And a pain in the butt.
And a pain in the butt.
Very good.
Yes.
Today we are going to talk about allergies, what causes them, common symptoms, and some natural remedies to try to help eliminate those symptoms.
Woo, woo. Yes.
Very good.
Give her.
So let's get started. What are allergies? Oh, yes. What are you going to take for your allergies?
Yes, we have to talk about what we're going to take for allergies.
Yes.
Okay, quercetin, it's a pigment. It's a natural product. It's a pigment from some vegetable organism. And you take it and it helps stabilize your mast cells. So your mast cells are the cells that produce histamine. So that's what gives off those itchy eyes and swollen eyes and runny nose and all that stuff. So by taking quercetin, it actually helps you stabilize your mast cells. And funny enough, I was in Egypt a while back, where the air is this horrible, beautiful place, but the air is very difficult. And this stuff saved my life. Otherwise, I'd be like big puffy eyes, and the photos would be not very. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference between a camel and me, right? It'd be very, very unpleasant.
I've never seen a camel with black hair.
They do in the northern part. Sometimes that tastes good. Yes.
So let's talk about what are allergies.
Allergies are a hypersensitivity reaction of your body to an allergen. Okay, so hypersensitivity reaction means that your body overreacts, creates inflammation in reaction to an allergen. So an allergen, I think everybody pretty much knows what the allergens are. Cats, dust, environmental, perfume, etc., etc., etc. And the hypersensitivity reaction your body makes causes inflammation. So the key one in the case of an allergy is histamine, which I already talked about with the quercetin stuff. So the histamine creates the itchy eyes, the runny nose, it causes swelling, etc., and then you end up with allergy symptoms, which are very uncomfortable. After a while you start to scratch and your skin gets irritated, you're blowing your nose a lot, you have trouble sleeping, you snore, you get pain here and here, because that's where your sinuses are. It's a very unpleasant disease. And you're sneezing all the time and spraying people, and it's not good for your social life.
Now, you've described a number of different symptoms, and for me, I think of those symptoms more so for environmental allergies. Mm-hmm. But what about for food allergies?
Oh, yes, that's true, yeah.
The symptoms are very different, aren't they?
Yeah, also food allergies or food sensitivities. A full-blown food allergy would be more, people would talk more in terms of dairy, right, where you would get diarrhea, right? You'd eat something, people that are very sensitive to dairy would get diarrhea. Mm-hmm. Food sensitivities are more of a subclinical allergy, is probably a way of looking at it. So it's not a full-blown allergy, but it causes inflammation, and the result is usually your body wants to evacuate it out of it as fast as possible. That's why often you get loose stool, diarrhea, and lots of mucus in your stool.
So you've said a couple times that it's usually wheat or dairy that people are allergic to. Why are those the common ones?
It's interesting. In North America, dairy's been tweaked with a lot. Hormones, antibiotics. Wheat has also been genetically modified considerably, so a lot of people seem to react to these two. These are the things I find in private practice. Also, there's a lot of reports in the science, in the research literature, of wheat being associated with psoriasis or eczema, or dairy being associated with a lot of these diseases. So there's dietary links with some of these inflammatory diseases and these foods. And also, interesting enough, when I travel, if I go to different countries, I may have wheat or dairy and I don't react as much as I do when I react in North America. Hmm.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, it's our food. Something about our food here is not the greatest. So.
So what are some different natural remedies for allergies?
Okay. Well, we talked about quercetin. Quercetin's a great one. Another one that really works well is detoxification. We did a previous show on that.
Yes.
It's more on the cleansing part, on the cleansing diet part. For most people, if you put them on a cleanse where they spend a week and they don't eat the common allergens, so no wheat, no dairy, they don't eat any junk, so no sugar, no pop, no coffee, and they just go on a very bland diet. For most people who have a hypersensitivity reaction, so that's allergies, eczema, and asthma, they'll feel better after a week. So for most people, if you go on a bland diet, you're going to feel better after a week.
Wow, that quick.
Yeah. And then what people do after that is they start reintroducing things. So, on say day 8, day 9, you have a little piece of cheese. And then if you start sneezing, or you start feeling phlegm in your throat, or your throat's itchy, or you get diarrhea, well, then you're sensitive to it. So it's a really good exercise to do. Another thing too is probiotics. Probiotics are those are healthy bacteria you get in yogurt. You get them in pill form. They've gained quite a lot of popularity in the press, and they're quite well studied, and they're very good for a number of things. And they help decrease the inflammation in your bowels and your digestive tract, which helps decrease the general inflammation in your body.
Now, I've noticed there are a lot of common brands out there that are now adding in the probiotic. Is that as good as some of the other brands? Because there's like organic, you can get an organic yogurt versus a more common one that also has a lot of sugar in it. Is that still good for you, or because it has the probiotics?
The thing is, the probiotics are in there anyway. They've always been there.
Yes.
But just now they're a lot savvier of bringing it to your attention. It all depends the amount that's in it too, right? Like for example, there's one company that one of their yogurts is the equivalent of 100 yogurts of the other manufacturer. Right, then you take their 100 yogurt and you take one pill, which is probably the equivalent of 1,000 of their yogurts, right?
Wow.
So some of it's a little bit of marketing.
Very good.
Right, it's like those energy drinks where they put in ginseng and ginkgo, but they put in so little that it doesn't really make a difference. But it's the marketing of it. It's very clever.
What are some other natural remedies? Acupuncture.
Yes, acupuncture. Thank you for reminding me. Acupuncture is great. Acupuncture is great for symptomatic relief. So if you come in and your nose is runny, your eyes are bugging you, have sinus pain, you put needles here, here, and here, and you feel great. You'll come out and you'll be able to breathe. Oh, you'll feel much better after that.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's for symptomatic relief. For prevention, elimination diets, quercetin are very good for that. Definitely very good for that, and probiotics.
Very good. And are they starting to brand more natural remedies for allergies as well? I think I've seen those in the health food stores as well. And what sort of things would be in those remedies? Would it be the quercetin?
Yeah, normally you'd see the quercetin. You may see some vitamin C. There's another herb out there called butterbur, which is not bad for allergies. There's a few other things out there, but usually the main ones you'll see in these allergy combos are often quercetin. That's usually the base. That's the one that's most often used.
How expensive are these remedies?
I think quercetin's like about $15 or $20.
So it's probably comparable to what people typically would take from a regular drugstore.
Yeah, it'd be comparable to an antihistamine, which is probably around 12 maybe, or maybe 15. So a little bit above, but they're non-drowsy. They're pretty well tolerated.
Very good.
Yeah.
And how long should somebody do the remedy? Just as long as they're feeling the symptoms? So, like, is that preventative, the quercetin and quercetin? Yeah.
Well, for example, the three allergy seasons are trees in the spring, early summer. Midsummer is grass, and August onwards is ragweed. So August, September is ragweed. So if you react during those times, I would start taking it a week before. And then once you're done feeling your symptoms, then you could stop taking it. But what's good about that elimination diet and the probiotics, if you start doing these regularly, the next season after, your allergies won't be as bad. That's what I see in my patients.
Very good. So how can somebody tell if they're having an allergic reaction versus getting a cold?
Okay. Well, if you're getting a cold, often it's the color of the mucus. That's a good question, actually. The color of the mucus. If you have an allergic reaction, the mucus is usually clear and it's itchy.
Okay.
Whereas if you're having a cold, it's usually yellow. There's usually a color to it. If you're having a cold, you won't necessarily get a fever, but if you have a viral infection, you will get a fever. Whereas with allergies, you won't get you won't get a fever. Also, with a cold is usually about a couple of days duration, but allergies, they could go on for weeks at a time.
Very good.
Yeah.
How can somebody find out what they're allergic to?
There's a number of tests, right? There's the skin prick test stuff, and you can check for about 100 things. You check for peanuts and stuff like that.
And that's done through a medical doctor? Or
that is done through a medical doctor. Yeah, we don't do that. That's done through a medical doctor. There's also a blood test, which you've done, and we have the results here, which are kind of neat, where they test for something called an IgG food allergy test. So what they do is that we draw a blood sample. So we take the blood, we send it off to the lab, and they check about 100 or so foods to see what your blood reacts with, and then it gives us an idea in terms of what your allergies are. So we've got this nifty little report here of Madame Jen, and she's got quite a few things. On her first page here, there's a whole dairy section.
Can I just give a bit of background on this?
Sure, please.
So, back in November, I actually went and saw a new massage therapist in my naturopath's clinic. And she noticed that I had a lot of trigger points. So she said, do you mind if we talk about this with the naturopath? I said, sure, of course. So Carissa said, why don't we do an allergy test? So we did the allergy test, and we were both floored with what we came back with, because I have such a weakened immune system. I always get sick. The kids bring home lots of things. So when I saw how many things I was allergic to, I thought I was doing well eating beans, bringing, an alternative protein form into my diet, and then discovering that I'm off the charts for kidney beans and pinto beans. It was very surprising.
It's the beans, it's the gas. It's the bean and gas. I would say a general rule is usually the thing you crave the most and eat the most of, you're sensitive to.
Chocolate. I love chocolate, though, and sweet stuff.
Chocolate and sweet stuff. So on her first page, she's reacting through the roof with dairy, anything from the cottage cheese to the cow's milk and the goat's milk. Normally people actually aren't too bad with goat's milk, but I think all dairies you're pretty bad with. You're a bit sensitive to pineapple, which is rare. Blueberries, which is pretty rare too. Page 3 here, it's a pretty interesting report. Eggs, very common.
Yes.
I've had a few people come in with both egg whites and egg yolk. Usually egg white is worse than egg yolk because egg white's more protein, and then a lot of the immune reactions happen on a protein level. Hey, you're okay with coffee? Woohoo!
I don't drink coffee.
You don't?
No,
well,
I hate
get
coffee.
a high five then. You could have just let me hang on that one.
I could have hang on.
And kidney beans, which is a weird one. Maybe you're having trouble digesting the protein
The
there.
mold. I'm allergic to mold dust and grass, so I'm wondering if the mold.
That would do it. Peanuts, which is not that uncommon. Wheat, of course, most people react to wheat. And almond, but you have a lot of almond milk, so that's probably just overdid it on the almonds. So
And
avoid all of those.
And I have been quite good since then. So about mid-November, I have been avoiding all those items, and it's been incredible. I haven't been sick. And I've been stressed out with starting my own business and with life, and I haven't gotten sick.
That's good. So
it just really goes to show that when your body isn't trying to fight and always combat the food that I was giving it, it allowed it to be stronger to fight off all the other crap that my kids were bringing home.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense, right? Because if you're going to imagine your immune system as a bit of a scale, right, everything should be balanced. If one part of your immune system is constantly being beaten down by a hypersensitivity reaction, because a hypersensitivity reaction, an allergy is an immune response. So if it keeps being beaten down, obviously the other parts of your immune system that deals with infection and fighting tumors will get weakened, right? So obviously if you rebalance that, you have a stronger immune system, and you're less likely to catch all the bugs that you're getting from your kids.
So what is the difference between this test that I took and the scratch test that is typically done through the medical doctor? Because the scratch test, that's an immediate reaction.
That's IgE, yeah.
So that's an immediate reaction. Because when I went to talk to my medical doctor about the results, she's like, I have no clue what this is. I'm not familiar with this test at all. She listened, but she was not familiar with this test.
This same test, we had it done through a U.S. company, but this same test you could get done through your medical doctor also.
She had never heard of it.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, you can. It's an IgG test.
Yes.
So an IgG is basically it's innate immunity, right? So it gives you what you're susceptible to. It doesn't necessarily mean the immune response will manifest itself, but it means what you're susceptible to. IgE is full-blown reaction. If you react to an IgE, then that means you're definitely allergic to it. So that's where you get a lot of the anaphylactic stuff.
So does that mean that I just have a sensitivity to these foods?
You have a susceptibility to it. But based on your numbers there, it makes sense that it's triggering reactions in your body.
So what's the difference between a susceptibility and a sensitivity and an allergy?
It means that you're susceptible to the food, and it could cause you an allergy, right? Like sometimes you don't need to have a full-blown allergy reaction to something weaken your immune system, right? It's just happening, it's borderline, it's subclinical. So it's just enough to affect your health, right? But not too much to cause you to stop breathing and have to stab yourself with an EpiPen and go to the emergency room.
Okay. Very good. Now, this test was not cheap. I did it through my naturopath, and unfortunately, my husband's insurance company did not cover it. So it was like
a lot do.
And my naturopath was very surprised. It was like $250.
Yeah, that's usually the going rate for that. Yeah, even if it goes to your doctor, it's about $250. But normally, the insurance companies will cover it.
If my medical doctor had recommended it, it would have been covered. But because my naturopathic doctor recommended it, it was not covered.
Discrimination. Yes.
In any case, shall we go check out the acupuncture therapy?
Sure, let's just do it. Let's do your acupuncture part. Great.
Very good.
It's acupuncture time.
Lovely.
Okay, so when you do acupuncture, you put on gloves.
Why?
Blood. You don't get a lot of blood, but just in case for my protection. Yes, just in case. When we were sticking a needle in you, get a little bit of bleeding, but it's rare.
I've got to go out tonight.
You have to go out tonight?
Yeah.
Well, you can wear gloves. It's okay, too. You can wear them also. Don't be panicked because I'm wearing gloves.
But am I going to have, like, marks on my face now?
No, I love little tiny red dots. It'll be tiny. Just don't move.
No bigger than my zits, right?
No bigger, exactly. You can't see them at home. Anyway, so, patients should not be giggling when we're about to stick needles around your nose. We'll just give her some time to recover, folks. That's okay. Keep ready. Ready, bandwidth, clicking, clicking. Okay, she's ready. All right, so now the two best points for helping to clear the nose when someone has allergies are right here on both sides of the nose, okay? She's going to wince. We're not going to fake this. She's tough, but she's not that tough. But these do sting, and woo! Look at that. You did a good job, actually. And what's really good about these is that as soon as you... Yeah, good job. Yeah, as soon as you put them in, you usually notice that your breathing is much better. You okay? Yeah. Okay. There you go. Great.
I have tears in my eyes.
Yeah, well, it's because they're pretty sensitive points. And a good one, too, that we do for sinuses are right over here. It's also a really good point for you to concentrate. It helps with the mind. Helps release stress. Here we go.
There's a chakra point there, isn't there?
There's a chakra point there, too. That's true. That's correct. So this is great for that. Usually we leave these in for about 20 minutes or so. And you have a patient coming in that just is blocked nose, congested. Usually right after doing those points, within a matter of minutes, you're able to breathe a lot better. Like you could feel it too.
Oh, I can. I can definitely feel it.
Yeah. Pretty neat, eh?
It is awesome.
Yeah. All
Very
right.
good.
Okay, ready to do the rest of the show with needles in your face?
Are we going to do the rest of the show on the needles on my face?
Sure, let's do it.
Are you guys ready for that?
Are you guys ready for that? Yeah? All right. Okay.
Can I turn?
Yeah. Normally she shouldn't move, but she's doing great.
I am very brave. This won't cause any permanent effects now, will it?
Well, at least not on camera.
So, I really encourage you to take care of your allergies and consider some natural remedies this year instead of suffering. But do work with a naturopathic doctor and make sure that they come up with a plan that's right for you for your allergies.
Thank you very much. And if you're looking for a naturopathic doctor in your area, in Canada, go to the Canadian Association of Naturopathic Doctors. In the United States, go to the American Association of Naturopathic Physicians. Links to their websites will be at vitaminjunkies.com.
Very good. I'm Jennifer Lyle.
I'm Dr. JJ.
Thank you for joining us today, and let's continue the addiction to good health.
Let's continue the addiction to good health, and please be sure to join us at Vitamin Junkies Anonymous.
Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do do do.